In the last PowerPoint, we have learned how to find the expected value of a random variable. Let us start from the first question. Here, they given a probability distribution. So, the random variable x takes the value 1, 2, and 3. So, the corresponding probability value of x equal to 1 is 0.2. If the random variable x, the corresponding probability value is k. If the random variable is 3, the corresponding probability value is 0.5. So we are asking to solve two things. One is k, another one is we have to find e of x. So first we need to find k. So how to find k? We know that if I add all the probability value of the random variable, the sum should be equal to 1. So first add the first value, which is 0.2 plus k plus 0.5 equal to 1. So 0.2 plus 0.5 will give you 0.7 plus k equal to 1. So what is k? 1 minus 0.7. So k equal to 0.3. The next one, we have to find e of x. What do you mean by e of x? Expected value of the random variable. What is the formula? X times p of x, and then we take summation. So sigma, what is x value? 1. Then we have to multiply the corresponding probability value, which is 0.2, plus what is next value of x? 2 times the corresponding probability value, which is k, but just now we have calculated k is 0.3, and finally we add 3 with the corresponding probability value 0.5. Okay, so since you write plus symbol here, you no need to write summation. So if you multiply this, multiply this, multiply this, then add all the value, that will give you 2.3. So the expected value of this problem, the e of x value, is equal to 2.3. Okay. Since we have learned e of x, the next important thing is variance of the random variable. So what do you mean by variance? So for variance, we are using this notation VAR of capital X, that is variance of the random variable capital X, and we define variance of x like this. The formula will be E of x power 2 minus E of x the whole power 2. So what is E of x? E of x means mean value or expected value. Okay, let us discuss this question. Here they given E of x value equal to 2, and they have given E of x squared equal to x. Find the variance of x. So it's very simple. You write the formula variance of x, which is E of x power 2 minus E of x the whole power 2. Okay, so we know that E of x power 2 value. What is E of x power 2 value? 8. Minus E of x. What is E of x value? 2. So we write 2. But as per formula, E of x value we have to square it. So 2 to the power 2. So which is nothing but 8. 2 power 2, 4. So 8 minus 4. 4 is the answer. Okay. Next question. Find the expectation or expected value or E of x. So remember, if they say expected value or if they say mu, okay, like this, or if they say E of x, all are denoted same meaning. That is, you have to find E of x value. Right, so here how many random variables we have? 2, 5 and 10. They have given the corresponding probability value is 1 by 4, 1 by 2 and 1 by 4. Okay, so what is E of x? So E of x means we know the formula summation x into P of x. So that means x value 2, the corresponding probability value 1 by 4, plus next x value 3, the corresponding probability value is 1 by 2, plus 10, the corresponding probability value is 1 by 4. So if you simplify, you will get 5.5 as the answer. So that means E of x value is equal to 5.5. Okay, what is the next one? We need to find variance also. For variance, what is the formula? E of variance, this is the formula E of x squared minus E of x the whole squared. Of course, we already find E of x. We know that E of x equal to 5.5. So now what I do? Now I have to find E of x squared value. Okay, so this value you need to find. So how to find E of x squared? E of x squared means summation x power 2 times P of x. So that means what? We have to square every random variable and then multiply with the corresponding probability. Then we take the total. For example, here my first random variable x takes the value 2. Okay, so here what you do? You write 2 power 2 multiply the corresponding probability value 1 by 4 plus next random variable 5. So we write 5 power 2 multiply by the corresponding probability value 1 by 2. Next random variable value x. So that means 10 to the power 2 multiplied by the corresponding probability 1 by 4. So if you simplify this, you will get 38.5. Okay, right. So now what is the variance formula? How to find variance? We know that variance is equal to, variance means you can write like this, VR of x, or I can use this symbol sigma power 2. So both are meaning denoting the variance value. So what is variance formula? E of x power 2 minus E of x the whole squared. Okay, so that is equal to, what is E of x squared? This value 38.5 minus E of x. What is E of x value? 5.5. So minus 5.5. Remember, this value you have to make squared. Okay, so you will get this thing. If you simplify, you will get 8.25. So the variance value is equal to 8.25. This problem, same idea. X value given, random variable, the corresponding probability is given. So what do you do? We use this formula to calculate E of x. Then before finding variance, first you should calculate E of x power 2. So E of x power 2 means x power 2 times P of x. That will give you 17. Then write variance formula. In the variance formula, substitute E of x squared value, that is 17 minus E of x, that is 4. So 4 power 2. So that will give you variance as 1. Okay, next question. An unbiased die is thrown twice. So twice means 2 times you are throwing a die. Let the random variable x denotes the sum of the numbers. Okay, so remember, if you throw a die, what is the possibilities? The first one will be 1 comma 1. What do you mean by 1 comma 1? The first time the die shows 1. Second time also the die shows 1. If I say 1 comma 2, what is the meaning? First time the die shows 1. Second time it shows 2. If I say 1 comma 3, first die shows 1, second die shows 6, like that. Okay, so what is the last option? 6 comma 6. 6 comma 6 means first die shows 6, second die shows 6. Okay, so how we define the random variable x? We define the random variable x as the sum of the numbers. So if it is 1 comma 1, what is the sum? 1 plus 1, which is equal to 2. If the die shows 1 comma 2, what is the sum? 1 plus 2, which is equal to 3. In the same way, if I say 4 comma 5, that means first die shows 4, second die shows 5. So we define the random variable as the sum of the numbers. So 4 plus 5 will give you 9. So what is the last option? 6 comma 6. That means 6 plus 6, which is equal to 12. So these are the possible options for the random variable capital X. Okay, so let us denote all these things in a tabular format, then you will understand easily. Okay, so see this one. If the sum number is 2, what is the possible outcome? 1 comma 1. If the sum number is 3, the possible option is 1 comma 2, 2 comma 1. If the sum number is 4, the possible options are 1 comma 3, 2 comma 2, 3 comma 1. So like that we have to list all the values. If you do like this, the last value will be 12. So how we get 12? By throwing 6, 6. Okay, so every stage you need to find the probability value. Remember, since we are throwing the die 2 times, n of s equal to 36. What is the possible value of x? X starting from 2. So 2 means 1, 1, this option. And last one, 12. What is 12? 6, 6. This option. Okay, so the random variable takes the value 2, 3, 4, 5 up to etc. 12. Okay, now we have to list out the probability value. Okay, so as I say before, to get this option 1, 1, the probability value will be 1 by 36. So the random variable is 2. The corresponding probability value is 1 by 36. What is the next random variable? 3. So 3 means what? Either we obtain 1, 2 or 2, 1. So to obtain 1, 2 or 2, 1, what is the probability? 2 by 36. Here for obtaining 4, we have 3 options. 1, 2, 3. So the probability will be 3 by 36. Obtain the number 5, we have 4 options. 1, 4, 2, 3, 3, 2, 4, 1. So the probability will be 4 by 36. Obtaining the number 6, we have 5 options. 1, 5, 2, 4, 3, 3, 4, 2, 5, 1. So 5 by 36. So like that for 7, 6 by 36. For obtaining the sum 8, 5 by 36. 9, 4 by 36. 10, 3 by 36. 11, 2 by 36. Finally for 12, 1 by 36. Okay. So first case we done the value of x equal to these things 2, 3, 4, 5 up to etc. 12. Probability distribution also we can make it. What is the last question? Expected value and variance and SD. SD means standard deviation. Okay, so you know that the expected value E of x or mu is equal to sigma x into P of x. So what is first value of x? 2. What is the corresponding probability? 1 by 36. What is next value of x? 3. Corresponding probability 2 by 36. Like that we have to add everything. So final one will be 12 times of 1 by 36. So if you simplify, you will get E of x equal to 7. Then variance. What is variance? Variance of x equal to E of x power 2 minus E of x the whole square. So before finding variance, we need to calculate E of x squared. How to find E of x squared? Just squared all the x value. So that means 2 power 2, 3 power 2, 4 power 2, 5 power 2, 6 power 2, 7 power 2, 8 power 2, up to etc. And then you multiply the corresponding probability. So 2 squared multiply 1 by 36. 3 power 2, 2 by 36. 12 power 2, 1 by 36 will give you 54.83. So if you substitute this value here, you will get variance value. So variance equal to 5.833. Last one, they ask us to calculate SD. SD means standard deviation. So what is standard deviation? Standard deviation of the random variable x is nothing but taking the square root value for the variance. What is my variance? My variance is 5.833. So for this value, if you take square root, that is equal to standard deviation. So I say standard deviation equal to 2.41. Okay. So for mean E of x, answer is 7. Variance answer is 5.833 and standard deviation is 2.41. See you in the next video.